ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. In this session, we'll be discussing from the 21st verse of the 16th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Arakshmana striya urvibalan shochasyatho purushadair ivartan vacham devim brahmakule kukarmani abbrahmanye rajakule kulagriyan. The meaning of this verse is, are you feeling compunction for the unhappy women and children who are left forlorn by unscrupulous persons? Or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? Or are you sorry to see that the brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? So, this verse is continuation of Dharma questioning Mother Earth. Dharma in the shape of a bull is asking Mother Earth in the shape of a cow. Three more questions are raised here. All these are symptoms of suffering of the people in Kali Yuga. Mother Earth is feeling for the people of this earth planet who are suffering in this Kali Yuga in different ways. So Dharma is questioning Mother Earth. Are you feeling compunction? What is the meaning of compunction? Compunction means, are you feeling sad or sorry for the unhappy women and children who are left forlorn? Forlorn means they are completely deserted. They are left alone to suffer on their own by unscrupulous persons. Prabhupada will explain how this is happening in the purport, but I am just going through the verse itself. This is the first question. Then the next question being asked by Dharma in the same verse, in this 21st verses, or are you unhappy because the goddess of learning is being handled by brahmanas addicted to acts against the principles of religion? That means knowledge is in the hands of brahmanas. They learn and they disseminate that knowledge to the people in society. Now these brahmanas, if they don't follow the principles of religion, the dharmic principles, then they become disqualified as brahmanas. Then they are no longer able to properly either learn or properly disseminate or set a right example or teach people the right values, right principles. They are unable to do that. So this is another sorry state of affairs in this Kali Yuga. We don't have qualified brahmanas. We have teachers, but they are not qualified brahmanas. They don't follow principles. Then the third question is, or are you sorry to see that the brahmanas have taken shelter of administrative families that do not respect Brahminical culture? These brahmanas, then knowledgeable or learned people, they work for the government and they are not treated properly by the government. They are forced to commit sinful activities in spite of having knowledge, because they are dependent for their livelihood upon the government salary. So they cannot say, I won't do something that they are asked to do. So they will do it. Even they know it's wrong, it is bad, it is sinful, it is going to bring about a lot of misery, suffering for the people. Still they cannot avoid, they cannot refuse, they cannot instruct the administrators that this is not correct what you're doing. They cannot do that. So this is the sorry plight of the people in this Kali Yuga due to the degradation or the bad evil influence of Kali. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, in the age of Kali, the women and the children along with brahmanas and cows will be grossly neglected and left unprotected. This Kali Yuga symptom. In the scriptures it is said very clearly, in a civilized society, 5 categories of people deserve to be protected by the government and by the respective guardians, respective leaders or respective protectors. The women had to be protected by men, especially in the young age by the father. A girl has to be protected. In the middle age by her husband, and in old age by her son or another guardian, family guardian. So this is the protection that Shastras say must be given to women. What happens if they are not given protection? Then they are exploited by unscrupulous ruffians, rogues, and uncultured mlechas, yavanas, gundas, drunkards, meat eaters, womanizers, woman hunters, prostitute hunters. Women are exploited. Therefore, women should be protected. But in the age of Kali, there is no protection. Children definitely require protection. Children should be protected by the state, government, and children should also be protected by the parents. In case the parents, a child doesn't have parents because it's an orphan, parents died or separated from parents, then the state has to give protection to such children, orphans. So children require protection. Again, they will be exploited, they will be uncared for, there will not be proper upbringing, there will be no proper development of the child for a good future, etc. Now Brahmanas, they require protection because they don't have time for earning their livelihood by doing some work. They are supposed to be busy with worshipping God and learning the scriptures and disseminating that knowledge in society free of charge to everyone else who is ignorant or who doesn't have the aptitude to learn this by the system of Gurukula. So Brahmanas have got a very responsible task, and Brahmanas, they are not strong enough to defend themselves against any attack. They have to be protected by the Kshatriyas. Government has to give protection. Law and order situation has to be maintained by the government. So Brahmanas specially require protection for the welfare of the entire society. Cows require special protection because cow is the only animal that gives the human society what is called as cow's milk, which is a miracle food which contains the aggregate of all nutritional values required for a human being. It's required for our subsistence, it's required for our development and growth and development of finer brain tissues to understand spiritual subject matter. We discussed this many times earlier. So cow should be specially protected. So in Kali Yuga, there is no proper protection for these 4 categories of persons. They'll be grossly neglected and they'll be left unprotected. In this age of Kali, illicit connection with women will render many women and children uncared for. You can see this especially in the Western countries, in America. So many women, because somehow they get married, or even if they are not married, they have their living partner, then they have a child, and the person who is supposed to be the father of the child that is born, he just walks out due to divorce or separation or broken family relationship, whatever, broken marriage, and then the child and the mother are left unprotected, uncared for. That's what is being mentioned here. And the numbers are increasing as the years go by. Numbers are increasing. And one more problem in this Kali Yuga is present age is circumstantially the women will try to become independent of the protection of marriage. Independent of the protection of men through marriage. They want to be independent. This independent is dangerous for the woman. Why? Because then she is prone to be exploited by rogues, ruffians. As long as they are married and there is a proper family unit where they are given proper protection, they are guided, and they are cared for, women will be exploited. They will be exploited. That's what we see everywhere around us now. The Brahmanas, they are traditionally intelligent people who can pick up knowledge, who can learn, who can teach. But in Kali Yuga, they will acquire modern education, but as far as moral and religious principles are concerned, they don't care for that. They shall be most fallen in terms of following good moral principles. Very intelligent, very educated, very learned, but as far as morality is concerned, very, very poor, very bad. So, education and bad character don't go together normally. But in Kali Yuga, they will run parallel. The person is very intelligent, very educated, very learned, but as for, don't ask what is his character. Character is worst character, because they don't care to follow the principles, moral principles, religious principles. They don't care to follow. And what about the administrators? They call themselves secular, because of it they don't follow any of the eternal Vedic principles. So they say we don't believe, and they have their own so-called system of administration. They don't follow the standard authorities, Manu Samhita, etc. So they have some concocted system of governance, and they will actually not give protection to the genuine Brahmanas, to followers of real Dharma, because of which there will be so much of degradation in society. Because people don't get proper guidance from a qualified Brahmana, they become degraded. The innocent people, the common people become degraded. And society will actually become very, 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 very fallen. So that is what is being described here. So these are some of the symptoms of the age of Kali, which are harmful to the general welfare of the human society. That's why this is being raised here. Dharma personified in the form of a bull, to Mother Earth personified in the form of a cow. So this conversation is going to lead to some real enlightenment in understanding what is the necessity of Dharma, what is the necessity of following the Vedic principles, absolute necessity for the well-being of the entire society. So I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.